Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first episode under Unleash Her. My name is Hanna Olivas, and I am here today with the amazing Michele Kline from Kline Hospitality. And we are going to come to you today live in your living room, office, wherever you are, and talk to you about how to build strong business relationships and keep them. So we do these every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. now. And we spend about 15 minutes with you. We always offer a question and answer session. But today we're going to talk to you, ladies, about how to build and keep long-lasting business relationships. So welcome, Michele. How are you?
Thank you, Hanna. Good. How are you? Good morning, everyone.
It feels like Monday.
It
Honestly,
feels like Monday. I love
Mondays
Mondays, so I'm
crazy.
excited.
I'm like Sunday, and then it's like I feel like I don't know what happens. Monday's a race, and Tuesdays I don't know. So today feels like Monday, but it's really not. It's Tuesday. But if you're an entrepreneur, sometimes we feel that hustle and bustle a little more than others. So today we're just I want to just dive right in. We don't want to take up too much of your time because we know that your time is valuable. So one of the key points in building and keeping a strong relationship is focusing on the mutual success of the person that you're building the relationship with. So in other words, it's not all about you. It's a we. And you always hear us at She Rises Studios say we are better together. And there's a reason for that, because when you're going through the good times, you're together. When you're going through the bad times, you're together, and you have that relationship and that, I don't want to say cushion, but that comfort to where you can lean into your business tribe, your she tribe, or whatever it is happening. So focusing on the mutual success of both companies would definitely be one for me. What do you think, Michele?
I agree with you. I think it's extreme. It's a two-way road. Relationships are a two-way road. It's not a matter of continuously expecting something from the other person. And I also feel like it's not a matter of you have to gain my trust, right? You give trust. In my opinion, it should be the other way around. Start off by giving trust, and then trust will build itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know if you have another point that you wanted to share, Hanna.
I'll just kind of build on that one. So my second would be, focusing on building that trust, that credibility, the authenticity. When you're authentic with your business relationships, and we've said this 1,000 times, they are not buying from your brand or business. They're actually buying from you. So when you're building the fundamentals of that relationship, they're truly looking at who you are as a person, and then your brand, your company, your business. So if they feel that they can trust you and that they find you to be credible, then they will work with you. And how do you show that you are trustworthy? How do you show that you're credible? You are transparent. You keep your word. When you commit to something, you follow through. And, in our case, I always say go a little and be a little above and beyond what the task is actually calling for, what they're actually looking for. If that means spending an extra, 20 minutes on the phone with your client just to give them that assurance or answer those questions, then that's what you have to do. That's all a part of building that trust, that credibility, and being authentic.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like what you said about if it means for you to spend a little extra time with that person, then sometimes that's all it takes. I do discovery calls with my one on one coaching clients, and not too often, but sometimes I have clients that need an extra call and they got hooked with something. So they want to have either that extra time or they want to have that extra call because they've been thinking about what we talked about during our discovery call, and it's worth it. I
Mm,
can't say that I have not been able to close on every single client or prospective client that I have been on a discovery call with. And
right.
I think part of that has to do with the fact that there's alignment, and I believe I am attracting the right client, but also the fact that I care. And when you care and you show you care, and part of showing that you care is spending that extra time, you know.
Absolutely. It just shows that you're not in it for yourself, that you really want to see that other person and their business succeed. And that is very important when people are looking at you and they want to see that that is definitely, a part of who you are, is seeing them successful. We always talk about cultivating your network, the relationships, and they will always remember how you made them feel. At the end of
Absolutely.
the day, they will always remember that. And I can speak from experience. If someone has left me feeling a certain kind of way, um, and maybe unintentionally, but either way, it kind of sets the tone, and a lot of times it makes me not want to circle back to that person. And so we always have to operate with, that cultivation in mind, and that respect, that truth, and always focus on how we treat them. You know, Even if we're considered the expert, that you can still maintain some type of humbleness without, coming across as maybe a little condescending. um, and really treat your business relationships with the most utmost respect as possible. So think about that. They're always going to remember how you made them feel, for sure.
Yes, it's great that you mentioned that. How do we know? How do we know how we are coming across? And I was recently, actually last week, working through a few days of training groups of leaders for a major airline, and part of the training had to do with being able and knowing how to give feedback and
Hmm.
ask for feedback, and how important is it to seek feedback. So if you're feeling like you want to take the next step in refocusing the way you build or you preserve these relationships, this network, these connections that you've built throughout your career, I think that seeking feedback is so important. Trying to comprehend how are you coming across. I think that's gold.
Absolutely. I would say, focusing on the relational value versus the transitional value.
Absolutely. Focus on the now and not on what am I going to get out of it.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, one of the topics that I wanted to touch on was social media, right? Today is the way to build connections. And here's the thing, there are so many platforms out there. And if you're going to build those connections, you have to take those connections to the next level. It's not just a matter of how many followers do you have, how many contacts do you have, how many friends do you have, right? It's also a matter of creating that two-way road, that community, that sense of community, right? I have been
Yep.
working on building my LinkedIn network for years now, and I have clients who had been my client 20 years ago, or people I have worked with literally 20 years ago. And I still stay in touch with them. And I stay in touch where, I don't know, I know that they live in Texas and there was a natural hazard in Texas, and I will send them a note via LinkedIn. And because throughout their career you may change emails, right? But I'm able to stay in touch there and say, hey, I heard this is happening, I hope you and your family are doing well. And it's as simple as that, to
Yep.
continue on with that community. And part of the craziness of being in every single social media platform, I'm at least going through this transition right now where I feel like you can't keep up with a sense of community beyond
Mm,
your groups, right? You have your closed groups in either Facebook or LinkedIn, for example, and you're able to find that community there. But it's almost like impossible to genuinely create and follow up and follow through with those connections when you're trying to be everywhere.
yes.
Or if you have that mentality of you're just a number, because
Hmm.
then you have people who are continuously participating in your growth, participating in the content that you're pushing out there and cheering you on and being your cheerleader. But you almost at a certain point expect the same from the other side. You
Right.
know what I mean? So how many connections do you have, Hannah? Thousands, right? But how many genuinely are always there behind you, cheering you on, liking that post, sharing that post, commenting? That is a true connection.
Correct.
It's not in the numbers. So
That
that's
that's
my
very
message for
true.
today.
We talk about that a lot in terms of building, like, our business relationships, our relationships in life. I do this thing where, because I do have almost 5,000 friends on my Facebook, doesn't mean I know them, because I don't. I get messages in my inbox, and a lot of them are pitches. And
Yeah.
I think to myself, you have not even looked at what type of business I do, who I am, and you're hitting me with this, what I call a cold pitch. So what I like to do with people who I'm building relationships with is I'm old school. I will reach out on the telephone. I want to hear their voice. I want them to hear my voice and hear, who am I? Who are you? I still believe in that connection over coffee. Or instead of sending an e-card, I'm a little weirdo. I still go to the store and buy regular cards, put it in the mail, put my special touch, and let them know that they were worth that extra, whatever, $5 and 10 minutes that I had to do, because they're important to me.
Yeah.
And, so I have a list every day. I go through, I do 10. I keep it really simple. And with those, my Facebook people, I shoot them a message and I say something simple like, I hope you're having an amazing day. It can be something super simple. And I always hear back, oh my gosh, I needed this. And then they say, who are you? What do you do? What made you think of me? And what happens next? You start building this relationship. It's that personal connection that you try to make with somebody. It's about the going above and beyond. And can we do it every day? No. I mean, let's be realistic. But can we do it? Absolutely. Set time, 10 minutes a day, just to say good morning to someone, or do something different in your life and business, because it does matter and people appreciate that. And then they start looking at who you are. What do you do? They might like the group you've created. They might like the page you've created. They might need your service. Who knows what it's going to turn into? But it's all cultivating and going above and beyond.
Yes, absolutely. And then following up on that connection too, right? So not only as the years go by, but also when you first create that connection, sending a note and saying, I appreciate you accepting
Yes.
my request, or I appreciate you reaching out. And how many, this is something that I talk a lot about with anyone I have in mentorship programs that are typically younger, and they're starting to build these relationships and these connections and their network, and how do I maneuver around
Mhm.
different platforms and still um, stay businessy, right? Still stay professional.
Right.
And that's part of it. Like, send out a note, send out a thank you note, send out a hey, I'm here, without the hey, minus the hey. But yeah, I think connections are extremely important, extremely important. And if you want genuine connections, which I
Mhm.
think that out of 2020 we've learned that connecting with humans, the human to human touch, is so 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 important. You have to work on it. You have to
Absolutely.
work on it.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree. with that said, I think we're gonna stop today at the hard 15 minutes. If you like what you've heard and you want to learn more, please feel free to reach out to Michele or myself, or if there's a topic that you would like us to talk about, please again reach out to myself or Michele. You can also join us inside the She Rises Studios Facebook group. It's all about community. We have some amazing women in there. And if you have any questions that you would like us to answer, you can always ask questions in the comments and we would be happy to answer them. Please check out Michele and who she is, what she does. She's an incredible woman. Oh, real quick, do you want to tell them what we're doing this Saturday?
Oh, no, I haven't. Go for it. So exciting.
You do it, because honestly, this is something that you worked on so hard for us. And
So
it's such an incredible experience.
there is this incredible opportunity that our county in Las Vegas has put together to bring women, young women from grades 8 through 12 into one space under the same roof with various different types of sessions for the whole day on Saturday to mentor them and coach them and sponsor them and prepare them for the world. So it's going to be an amazing day of empowering young women and helping them build a solid foundation. And both Hanna and I have the opportunity to be part of that and impact these young women in a very positive way. So we're super excited about the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be educating and celebrating our future leaders. That's what this is about. You know, we come and do these lives, we do these summits, we do these speaking engagements, and we work with all these women because we want to gear them up for the future to be amazing women in life and in business. So stay tuned for more about that. I think we'll have a lot of pictures to share and just some exciting information. So thank you for joining us today. We will be here again on Thursday at 9 a.m. Have an amazing and wonderful Tuesday. Thank you, Michele, for joining me for another, well, actually, this is our very first episode from Unleash Her. And we'll talk about that more and where that came from on our next episode. So have
Sounds
a
good.
great Tuesday. Thank you, Michele. We'll
Bye,
see you soon.
everyone.
Bye.